up and sit down.
And now, streaming live from the sunny Southern California coast, this is Options Uncensored.
Hey everybody, I'm Steve. Welcome to Options Uncensored. We're making real option trades in real time together. Let's get right into it. First things first, make sure you have your brokerage account open so you can follow along. Have your YouTube video quality set as high as possible. That way you can follow the numbers a whole lot easier. Have a calculator on hand so we can do some easy math. If you have a question or a stock you want to go over together live, leave it in the comments section below. And finally, remember, this is not financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes only. All right, cool. Let's check in our open positions. Down slightly across the board today. Newmont, we got filled yesterday, right? Filled at 29. It's going against us a bit yesterday, but we're at a good bouncing point if you look at the chart. So Newmont should be bouncing soon. CCJ's kind of flat today. Same thing, at a bouncing point. We should get the bounce here soon. And the semiconductor short call spread on that ETF is flat today as well. It's trying to go green a little bit. I saw it bouncing back and forth, but it's got some work to do on that one, okay? Small portfolio is very small for us. We only got 3 positions. Usually we have, 6, 7, or 8. Let's see. First up, actually, we got to talk about Palo Alto. That one closed yesterday. Pan W. So, recap on this one. We sold a put spread 2 days ago on the 21st. Post earnings, bounced perfectly off the 200-day moving average, and it closed yesterday. Okay, so we sold the 220. Let me zoom out a bit here. For the put side, we sold the 220, which is right about here, and bought the 230. Sorry, we sold the 230. My bad here. Sold the 230 and bought the 220. So that was a $1,000 spread. We made $68 on it, so that's a 6.8% return on that $1,000 spread, okay? So if you hopped in at any time on this trade, you're probably out of it by now as well. So nice job on that one. Like Lacey's question from yesterday, what's your favorite trade setup? This is it. This is the perfect example of what my favorite trade setup is. Big gap down on a good company, selling the put side and waiting for it to come back. Okay? This was an easy one. Let's look at Carvana, CVNA. That's the first one up today. Post earnings was up big. I think it was up at close to 43% at one point this morning. Got up to 76.50 and bounced down. We got resistance at 72, which it blew past. Next up is at 77. It probably hit that. So resistance back here from January of 2020. At 77.50, and the next stop is looking like it can go all the way to 98, 99, maybe even 100. So if you want to sell the call side, keep that in mind. For April, still average volatility on this one, so the move that was priced in, this is probably higher than was priced in. Call side, we're going to have to wait on this one. So there aren't enough strikes available for April expiration to do anything. Just you have to move farther out than the 90, and that makes sense. There's resistance at 100. So what we'll do, we'll put this one on the list, even if we get some upgrades or something on Monday. We need to have more strikes available in April to do something. CVNA, we'll put 100. Okay. This is a short squeeze on this one. So let's give it a couple days for all the shorts to get murdered, and then we'll go in. Okay, so hold on this one, but close. Very close on this one. Put side, if you want to sell the 40. A lot of open interest at the 40 and the 30. If you sold the 40 and bought the 30, what do you get? $106 minus 38 divided by 2, that's 3.4%. Skip the put side. Next up, Square. Block. up 17.5% today. This is also post earnings. Upgraded at Seaport. All right, so here's our chart. Got all the way up to 83. Resistance for this guy at 83 right here from... Oh, yeah, got all the way up to 83.28. Resistance from back here, February of 22. Next stop is at 92, 93-ish. Call side. You'd have to sell on the call side the 95. That makes sense. If you sold 95 and bought 100, what do you get? 148 minus 92 divided by 2 divided by 500, 5.6. That's not as good as I thought it'd be, honestly. So this thing is kind of perfectly priced at this point. Put side, you'd have to go out to the 65. 65 pays $80. That seems fair. Good liquidity on this one. What about the put spread? If you sold 65 and bought 60, that's 79 minus 39 divided by 2 divided by 500, 4% there. Skip the put side for sure. Call side. Let's keep following up on this one. There's a lot of resistance around 98 to 100. Same thing like Carvana. So we'll put down square SQ at 100. Same thing, maybe we can get some upgrades next week. Price target adjustments. We'll see what happens, okay? RCL, can't remember why Royal Caribbean was in the news this morning. Or we talked about it yesterday, I think. A long idea at Hedgeye. Okay. That's right, we talked about the debt announcement yesterday. Good upward momentum on this one, but it needs a bigger pullback to at least, I don't know, 110. Earnings for this one are not till May, so that's good. Put side, you'd have to sell the 105. Not very liquid either. Call side, you'd have to sell the 140, and you've got a 20-cent spread there. So I'd skip the call side. Moving on. Live Nation, LYV. Post earnings, I believe. Not much of a move on this one. Okay, up 3%. I already sold off quite a bit, so if you want to sell the call side, we may have missed it. Challenging chart. We we have some over the long-term upward momentum here, but it's kind of stalled out, and you got this big head and shoulders pattern over the long term. Shoulder, head, very big shoulder here. I don't know, man. This is a tough chart. It's an ugly chart. No, it's not ugly. It's a tough one. Ugh. Well, it's too illiquid anyway. Let's move on. WBD, Warner Brothers Discovery. We had David Zaslav talking this morning, was it? Yes, good. Down big, down 12.5. I think they made money, though, on their streaming platform, so that's actually a positive note. But these legacy media companies are toast. No one watches these channels anymore. there's just too much competition with the streaming. Supports. Let's look at the weekly chart here. That's how bad it is. All right, we have to go back to 2009. Okay, there could be some support here at 830. If not, there is a ton of support. A ton of support at 750. Okay? So if you want to sell the put side, just make sure it's at or farther out than 750. Going back to 2008 all the way through 2009. Those are the good old days, right? So on the put side, 750. It's a little close. You should get a bounce there, though. So rarely do I recommend selling a strike so close, but if you don't really care, you get 23 bucks for it. $24 risking 750. 24 divided by 750. Nah, this is not worth the risk. Okay, moving on. $750 is right about here. Pass. We have to go on. DraftKings DKNG. DKNG, was it maybe an upgrade today? Upgrade from Barclays. Okay, so upgrade at Barclays today. Moving the stock a bit. We had a post-earnings sell-off, a mini one, or a gap down after earnings, rallied back, then a sell-off, and now it's kind of just hanging out. So if there was any volatility in this one, it's all been sucked out. Nothing left. Average. Put side, you'd have to sell the 36 and buy the 35. Call side, you'd have to sell the 49 and buy the 55. Let's do the math on that one. 80 minus 21 divided by 2 divided by 600. 5% on the nose there. So again, this one's boring. Skip it. Let's go to Rivian. I think Rivian got a double downgrade. Ouch. Down 11%. So this is day 2 now after earnings. Double downgrade from Deutsche, was it? No, sorry, UBS. Double downgraded UBS from, what was it, buy to sell? A rare double downgrade. Demand problems, yeah, no kidding. Ugly. We've traded Rivian before, but it's always been selling the call spread. I've never sold the put side on Rivian, and I don't know if I'd want to. There's no chart history. We can go back far enough to see where there's support, so it could just keep falling down to zero. On the put side for April, you'd have to sell. The 750 is a little close, and the 5 is too far out to make it worth it. Call side, you'd have to sell the 15, and it's too far out. So we'll skip Rivian. All right, let's catch up on some ones we've been looking at this week. Twilio, TWLO is first up. Not a lot of news today. Waiting for 51. It's not there yet. And it looks like it's leveling out, so may not be as volatile anymore. Yeah, I think we're going to take this one off the list. You need to sell the 47 today. It's red. Taking this one off the list. No more follow-up on Twilio. Next is Moderna mRNA. Past earnings now, day 2. Trying for it to get to 103, the 200 day. Anywhere from 103 to 105.50. That's on the call side, but we're losing a lot of premium. We got red on the call side and red on the put side. It's not moving fast enough. We need to sell the 120 and buy the 125. Let's do the math. 203 minus 131 divided by 2 divided by 500. 7.2, is that right? For selling the 120? Let me do the math again. Maybe I messed it up. If you sold the 120 and bought the 125, 194 minus 129 divided by 2 divided by 500. 6.5%. There we go. That makes sense. Liquidity's okay on this one. Not there yet. And I'd skip the put side. You'd have to sell the 80. Yeah. We'll check on this 1 or 2 more times and then call it. Roku. Getting closer to 60. Not there yet. This could be the bounce, though. This ascending trend line, this could be the bounce right here. Let's look at the put side today. We may have missed this one by a day. What is this, down 8 cents? $8? If you sold 50 and bought 45, let's do the math. 83 minus 35 divided by 2 divided by 500. 4.8%. Call side. Skip the call side. The 75 is too close and the 80 is too far out to sell. Put side's where it's at. Where's 50 on the chart? 50's down here. It seems fair. Maybe we'll go try to hop in on this one really quick. You're not really getting paid for it. Let's do it anyways. Going to sell 50 and buy 45 on the put side for April. Volatility's kind of gone out of this one, so it's not the best setup. And we're only getting 5%, but let's do it. Go to verticals. Set this at 5. If we got 51 divided by 2 divided by 500, yeah, 5.1%. This isn't ideal, but we're going to sell one April 50 put and buy one April 45 put. Limit credit, we're going to go with 51. Preview this and double check the ticket. Sell one Roku April 50 put to open and buy one 45 put to open. That's a $500 spread. We'll receive a credit of $51, so the max at risk here is $449. We'll go ahead and send that. We got the bid now at 52. We'll change this to 52. Squeeze every penny out. Double check one more time. Sell 150 put to open, buy 145 put to open, credit of $52. Limit. Send it out. This will hang tight here. If it does get filled, set your buy to close at $26. Okay. Alcoa looking for 25. Down big today. I'm not going to take this off the list yet. I think we can get down to 25. Apache, APA. Next up. I didn't write down a number. Looking for support. This is an ugly chart. Support at... I can get support from back here in 2020. If not, next stop down is 2860. Put side, you'd have to go out to... there's nothing good. You cancel the 2750. It's too close. And the 25 is too far out. So let's skip this one for today. We'll check up one more day on Monday, and then we'll call it on this one. Okay, let's look at our IV rank scanner, and we'll sort by volume. SPY's back on the list. NVIDIA's still up there. That's because it's on a roll. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. NVDA. You could make the case for some on the call side here. There's no chart work you can do to find resistance, but it's just gone parabolic. And when you have a parabolic move, it's unsustainable. And you can make the argument that as far as valuations go, for a forward PE, it's not overvalued at all. They just have monster sales, monster revenue. So this is why this one's so tough. From a valuation standpoint, there's no reason why you'd want to sell the NVIDIA here, even though it looks crazy. But just its parabolic move is concerning. If you look at the weekly, it's even clearer. These kind of moves are unsustainable. That's why it's so tough. It's not overvalued. Tough. Really tough. What is the options market price? Okay, April, on the put side, you're getting... What a mess. So many. You'd have to look at the 660. The 660 pays you 875. So 875 on the put side. 875. 18. So there's a ton of call skew on this one, which means that they're buying up calls out of the money and driving this thing higher. That's why. So when that happens, you'd want to sell the call side. Very illiquid, though. I'm trying to think. So we got a lot of action at the 900. That's too close for me. A lot at the 920. These are all spreads, then. Too close. Next one out is the 1000. And that's a little too far out. So what... Anyone that's selling the call spread is buying the 1000 to cover and selling the 920. I'm guessing that would make the most sense. You could sell the 1000, sleep easy at night. Put side. Let's go back there. The 660. A lot of open interest at the 660. Then you have to go out to the 630, 25, and 20. Pass on this one. Rivian, we already looked at. Square, we looked at. The IWM, holding out for that one to make a move. Carvana, we'll follow up with. Shorts are getting squeezed on that one. Palo Alto, we're already in and out, so if you're not, don't mess with that one anymore. You missed the move. Warner Brothers Discovery, we already checked that one out. HYG, nope. CCJ is still on the list. It's getting a mini bounce today, I think. CCJ. That's flat. That's why our position's green. It's flat, but it's not going down. So that's good. It's catching a floor here. It's gone sideways since, what, the 13th? We opened at the day of earnings on the 8th. We're a little early on this one, I'll admit it. It's just gone sideways for the past, I don't know, week or so. Just got to wait it out. It'll come back up. If not, we'll get the shares. That's fine. Strong upward momentum, strong upward trend line. Even if this chart is turning downwards, like going down, you'll still get a bounce here till at least 47 or so. Between 46 and 47.20. You get a bounce there. Okay. Cool. Next up, ARM. You missed it. FXI, no thank you. Boeing, Pfizer, the Semi ETF, Numa, we're already in. Soxel, pass. Taiwan Semi, want to stay away from the semis for the time being. Uranium ETF, we already have our CCJ, it's the same thing. Maple Bear. Last we checked, Instacart wasn't moving anywhere. Is it moving now? Kind of the upside. Interesting. So it's gone nowhere since its earnings, and now it's kind of moving up. So, too illiquid on the call side. Too illiquid on the put side. Let's skip this one. Card. There we go. Riot. No. Paramount. Nope. Adobe. K-Web. Sunrun. Zoom on the 26th. We'll get Zoom next week. AMC next week. Snowflake next week. AT&T. Teladoc is down again today. I would stay away from that one. Marvell. Tough. Goldman Sachs. Let's take a look at Goldman Sachs GS. I don't know why it's on the list. Average volatility. Put side 360. This thing's perfectly priced. I don't know why it's on the list. Call side, the 430, 312. Interesting. So 312 for the call side. 345 for the put side. So there is a little bit of put skew here. Let's take a look at JP Morgan. JPM. See if there's any put skew in JP Morgan. Doubt it, but 170, you get 128. Call side, 200, you get 106. So there's some put skew on the banks. I wonder why. Well, never mind. I know why. They've had this big run up without any pullback, even after earnings when we sold the call spread. Wow. All-time high for JP Morgan. Interesting. Let's skip the banks. Next up. Yeah, Roku, it says 22% IV rank. Volatility's out on this one. Micron, JD, Baidu. On the 28th, we'll get Baidu. That's next week. Cool. Plug. We're at the end of earnings season, so we're getting all these weird ones that no one pays attention to. Avaco, CrowdStrike coming up. CleanSpark, Oracle. We looked at Oracle yesterday. Stay away. Dell. Dell on the 29th. They had a great quarter last time, remember? It was weird. No, they didn't. Just kidding. That was IBM. Dell's earnings are coming up. Let's wait till after earnings, okay? We'll follow up afterwards. One more page here, and then we'll call it for the day. We'll do a short day today. It's Friday. ARC, no. American, no. Moderna, we already looked at. Teva, GDX, Nike's coming up on the 21st. We're about a month away till Nike, so hang on tight. Alcoa, yep, we got on the list. Still got some volatility priced in. That's great. There's an event on the 27th. That's next week. Maybe we'll get some downward movement then. It's BMO's 2024 Global Metals, Mining, and Critical Minerals Conference. President and CEO will participate. Wow, that's going to be exciting stuff there. Costco on the 7th. Lily's too big. UNG. I wish there was a nat gas play we could do. Does anyone know of a nat gas ETF we could play? Because I know nat gas is down. Give me 1 second. I'm going to look up a nat gas ETF. UNG. Holy smokes on earth. Yeah, nat gas definitely is down big. Put side, you'd have to sell the 12. You get 33 bucks. That's interesting. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, UNG. We got it. Selling the 12 and buying the 10 if you want to cover. Good liquidity here too. Where's 12 on the chart? 12 is down here. Let's look at the weekly. Well, that didn't help. Oh boy. Tempting, very tempting on this one, but $12's down here. It's fair. I got, as you can see, and this is an ETF, so these aren't as volatile, but we have higher than normal implied volatility, so this is quote unquote expensive. This is what you're looking for. You get 33 bucks for selling the 12. That is expensive. UNG. Nat gas is very finicky. I know we talked about it a couple times. Always look up the tale of optionsellers.com. They sold naked calls on nat gas, got murdered, and took the whole fund down. That's not what we're doing here, so don't worry. What if it was back here in 2018? This is when it was, right here. A good lesson here. So back somewhere in 2018, optionsellers.com sold naked calls on nat gas, spiked up, went against them, they got called, and the entire fund went over. And it's funny, if you look at the long term, they were right. Nat gas did go down by, what, a couple months later? Yeah, so 3 or 4 months later, they were right. They sold the call side, and they were right. They just got always cover your call side is what I'm saying, because they got murdered here. It went from 106 up to 159 or something. That's some bad timing right there. Let's do a put spread on this one. See what happens. $200 spread. We'll sell the 12 by the 10. Is it worth it? $33 minus 11 divided by 2 divided by 200, 5.5. Sure. We'll open it, see if it gets filled. If we lose, we lose. Verticals. Set this at 2. We'll do the 12-10. Right here. Go for the ESCA24. So we'll sell one April 12 put and buy one April 10 put. Credit of 24. Preview. Double check your ticket. Sell 112 put to open. Buy 110 put to open. Credit of 24. Everything looks good. We'll send it out. It'll hang tight here. This is just be careful on this one because these ETFs always recycle, and that's why they always have a consistent downward movement. So just be careful on this one. They're perpetually moving down, so that's why you get paid more to sell the put side. Call side's expensive too. If you sold the 19, sell 19 and buy 21. Or you could do the condor. 49 minus 25 divided by 2 divided by 200. 6% if you sold the call side. I don't know. Tough one. Put side's green today. Let's do the put side. But just be aware. This could continue moving down for the next year. 12's right here. It seems fair. All right. Algo más. Applied Materials in May. March 4th event. Morgan Stanley Conference. Bookings. They had their earnings today, right? Yeah. Cool. I think that'll do it for today. It's Friday. Let's cut the episode short. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Happy Friday. Tune in every morning, 7:15 a.m. on the West Coast and 10:15 a.m. on the East Coast. We go live every morning trading options. Also, tell your friends who are trading to tune in as well. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Another good week. Couple wins here with Palo Alto. Good job, everyone. We'll keep an eye on these semis, okay? Have a great weekend. I'll see everybody Monday morning.